Hi students, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn how to do factorization by grouping terms. Do get ready a pen and some papers and practice along with me. Right, let's look at this linear factor. 3ab plus 15b. 3ab is equivalent to 3 times a times b. And 15b is equivalent to 3 times 5 times b. And what do we observe here? Yes, there are two common factors. The number 3 and the letter B. So what do we do with these two common factors? Yes, we can factorize it. So when we factorize it, we need to introduce a bracket. And this is how we do it. Now let's look at what happens if we're given two linear factors. This is one linear factors, and this is a second one. And what do we observe here? Yes, in these two linear factors, we have a common factor, 3a plus b. And we're going to factorize this common factor. So as what we have done in the earlier example, when we carry out this process of factorization, we have to introduce a bracket. So what happened here is the common factor is bracket 3a plus b. And when I pull this guy out, I'm left only with x. So I need to introduce a bracket. So I'm left only with x. And for the second linear factor, okay, what we see here is a positive. So continue to put back the positive. And when I take out my 3a plus b from the second linear factor, what I'm left here is y. And then I close the bracket. So this is how we do it. Right, let's look at the next example. In this example, we are given four terms, 5r plus ar plus 5s plus as. What we need to do is we need to group these four terms into two groups. Each group comprises only of two terms. So how can we do it? Yes, we can group this 5r plus ar as one group, then 5s plus as another group. So let's observe the common factor in the first group. The common factor in the first group will be the letter R. And the common factor for the second group will be the letter S. Right, let's concentrate on the first group. So we're going to factorize R. Like what I have mentioned earlier on, to factorize R, we need to introduce a bracket. So 5R is equivalent to 5 times R. So when I factorize the R out, I'm left only with 5. And I continue with the operation plus, continue writing it. So AR is equivalent to A times R. So when I factorize R, I'm left with A, and then I close the bracket. So you continue with writing with the middle operation. The middle operation here is a plus. So continue with plus. Now let's look at the second group. Second group, the common factor is S. So we factorize the letter S, introduce a bracket. So 5S is equivalent to 5 times S. When I factorize S, I'm left with 5. Continue with my operation plus. AS is the same as A times S. Factorize the S out, left with A. Now the next thing you can observe is we have another common factor here. 5 plus A. 5 plus A. And with all this common factor, we can factorize it. So when we factorize it, we introduce a bracket. So for the first group, I'm left with R, continue with this operation plus here, and then I'm left with S. Right, so the next questions you may want to ask yourself is there another way of grouping it? Okay, let's try to explore. Supposing you do not want to group 5R plus AR. You want to group 5R with 5S. Why? Because both of them has a common factor 5, right? And you would like to group AR with AS. Why? Because both of them have the common factor A. Let's see if we can still get the same answer. Let's focus on your first group. Common factor is 5. So I introduce a bracket. I'm left with 5 bracket R plus S. Continue with the operation plus. And this one here, the common factor is A bracket R plus S. And we observe that there's another common factor here where I can extract it out. So for the first term, I'm left with 5. Continue with my operation plus and then A. And you see that yes, I do get the same answer because this can also be written as bracket. In this, they're commutative. What does commutative means? Commutative means A times B is equals to B times A. For example, 2 times 3. You get that 6, right? You can also write it as 3 times 2. You also get value 6. All right, let's look at the last example. So in this last example, we are given 4 terms here, 3APX plus 6APY minus BPX minus 2BPY. Right, don't worry with so many letters and numbers. Okay, let's break this down into 2 huge groups. The first group will comprise of 3APX plus 6APY. So 3APX is equivalent to 3 times A times P times X. And 6APY is equivalent to 3 times 2 times A times P times Y. And what do we observe here? Yes, we have common factors 3AP. 3AP. And we're going to factorize our 3AP. And when we do factorization, we need to introduce a bracket. Right, so when we extract 3AP from 3APX, I'm left only with X. Continue with the operation plus. And when I take out 3AP from 6APY, I'm left with 2 and Y. So let's explain this term here. All right, now let's look at the second group. So let's continue with, so this will be my second group. Right, so BPX is the same as B times P times X. And this is 2 times B times P times Y. So what is the common factor that we can observe here? Yes, the common factor will be BP. All right, so that's just what we're going to do. Continue with the operation negative here. Right, and then if you were to observe this carefully, right, you'll see that I would have to change this guy here to a positive. Why is that so? Because if you were to work backwards, because we actually factorize the negative, you see, this one is a bit takes a little while to understand. Okay, since I'm factorize a negative out from the bracket, right? If I were to continue writing as a positive here, then you will see that I would end up getting negative bpx. Negative with negative will give me a positive 2bpy, which contradict to what I'm given in the original questions. Because in the original questions, let me erase all this, it's a bit confusing. In the original questions I'm given, it's the operations is a negative 2bpy, not a positive one. Right? So that is the reason why the operation here you have to change it to a positive. Okay, and then the next common factor is x plus 2y. We can factorize it. Okay, or you can write it this way. Factorize your x plus 2y. And then what is left for the first group will be 3ap. Then continue with the operation minus here, bp. You would get the same results.